All right, I'm about to go ahead and start the intro. 3, 2, 1, start. All power to the people. It's the Bruh Listen Podcast, the Black podcast focusing on social political issues and how they affect our community. With your hosts, Bria Ward, Cedric Owens, Matt Smiley, and Anthony Rogers. Bruh, listen. Bruh Nation, what's good? We back at it again, episode number 12, coming at you live from the 685 studios, doing our thing. We hope everybody feel good, because we do. It's raining today.
You should add your own sound effects.
Yes. We can't afford the real. Yeah, we can't afford the real thing. Hey, it worked on my other podcast, which is way more successful than this one. So
nobody watch that shit. Shout out Flag on the play. All right, kind of sort of.
We want to give a shout out to everybody that's on the YouTube live checking us out again. We appreciate you coming over from Facebook, and everybody that's listening. Y'all can check us out on the YouTube so that y'all can easily access the episodes visually. We know y'all like to look at stuff. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into things, whatever. Everybody feeling good?
Awesome.
Bria? Tank, you good?
Motherfucking wonderful.
There it is. It's a rainy Saturday, but the rain ain't gonna stop this train. So let's do it. So we gonna go ahead on and get into metoo movement because of the Morgan Freeman thing that came up this week. You had Morgan Freeman have some accusations coming out that said that he sexually harassed a few women back in the day.
They trying to get Morgan out of here.
They trying to get Morgan. They got Bill, and they got a few other cats too. And they try to put Morgan Freeman in there. Now, from what I was researching is none of these charges are sticking, and a few of the women already done backed down off the accusations or whatever. So my thing is, why they came up with it in the first place if they was inaccurate accusations? So my question for you guys is, do you feel like the Me Too movement has turned into a witch hunt or into women just trying to, I don't know, get like a 10 seconds of fame because of it? Or do you think that it's still a legit movement that's really garnering us some good, results and rights for women in the community for them? So I'm starting with Bria. Bria, go ahead and let us know what you think. I don't know what's wrong with that. I'm very happy to be here. Bria, what you think, man? What you think about the Me Too movement and the status of it where we at?
I think that certain people take it too far. I think as far as sexual harassment goes, it's a very serious thing, especially if you get to the point where a man rapes a woman. And so the people that are coming with these accusations and they're false and they come out years later and these men are in jail or they've been convicted and it's not true, they're messing it up for the people that it's actually happening to. So it's a very serious situation, but the people that are coming in and giving these false accusations, they're making it seem like it's not as serious when you have women that have experiences and it's real for them.
So do you feel like that shoot the credibility of the movement as a whole? Because, like, for example, with the Bill Cosby thing, whatever, right? The woman who he actually went to court for, Bill Cosby admitted in court that that's what he did. He put Quaaludes in his drink. But now you got women as famous as Janice Dickinson coming out and was like, yeah, I made it all up. That's BS. So, like, it does take away from the legitimacy of it. So, Matt, what you feel? Do you feel like it take away from the legitimacy of the movement, or what you think?
I think it's a distraction and a disservice to real victims. Unfortunately, it happens in all walks of life when there are no consequences. It's okay to come out and make up anything about anybody. That's what the internet has given us.
True.
And we're running with it. News outlets, they're trying to be the first to break the scoop on Twitter, wherever. They don't have time to find the facts. And that's unfortunate for the rest of society, because everyday average men are losing out because people don't understand what the Me Too movement is. In my eyes, it is, you know what, that happened to me and I want it to happen to anyone else. But it's coming off as, he pinched me in the lobby.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think that a lot of the accusations, I don't think people really understand or garner or have like a true like grasp of what actual sexual harassment or sexual assault or rape really is, because, you know, not saying that women who are making true claims don't deserve their justice, because they do, but come on, man, the Morgan Freeman stuff was even before he got exonerated from some of it, it was kind of like, what? He called you beautiful. Tell me what you think, bro.
Enough of the bullshit. All right, let me tell you something. Be talking y'all rape apologists.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That's what you sound like. What we doing here? Now that was somebody called me because I said I don't even want to say what I said publicly.
You're not doing that.
But hey,
you too?
Don't worry about it. I ain't raping nobody out here. But my dick is clean.
I never made the accusation.
But let me say something. Now I ain't got a problem with that much problem with the Me Too movement as much as I have with white people. Because the pendulum swung to the extreme on the women's side. Before it was on the men's side, and a lot of shit was overlooked that we seen ridiculous that shouldn't have been overlooked. Now it's done swung the other way. Now the petty shit is being taken serious. Eventually we're gonna get back to a medium in society and everything. But I think it's good because I got a daughter. So it's good for it to be on the extreme side of the women, and eventually it's gonna come back. Hey man, some niggas gotta be casualties of war.
So, like for example, with Charlie Rose or whatever, the PBS
casualty of war
host or whatever, right?
Should have been out here getting free from young interns.
You know what he was doing? I was gonna say his involvement in the Me Too movement was he dated a chick, he went on a few dates with her, she never said she didn't like him. He called her and was like, yo, I really miss you. I want to be with you. Da 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 da. She was like, yo, that's sexual harassment. Oh, and he got fired because of it. But she never said.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. She never said, hey, I don't want you to call me and say that or nothing. He thought the feeling was mutual.
But you know what? In every institution that has lasted any amount of time, it has been a clear part of policy. Don't date below your rank. And it's for the very reason that at the first time that you do that, you invite the opportunity for that person to say, you flex your power. So try to go as possible way. He dropped the ball.
Man, right about that, man. You can't, yeah, don't, man, you Charlie Rose.
He should have fucked his boss.
Basically.
Then the boss would be flawed.
Yeah, they got to be on the boss because she was lower rank.
Against Angel.
One more thing I got to say before you did. Now, it seems like in America, because that's where it's all going down at with these. It seems like we forget there's a whole bunch of skeezers and hoes out here. There's women.
Say what?
There's women. There's bitches. And there's hoes. You heard what I said?
All population.
Hoes. And all of these women, that's because all of them women knew what they was. I mean, a lot of women that was going to Bill Cosby's room knew he wanted to fuck. It just years afterwards. Now they're like, oh, he gave me Quaaludes. But if you would have fucked him without the Quaaludes, you thought it was going to be easier to fuck that ugly ass nigga with the Quaaludes. Whatever drugs you give me, that's why you took the shit.
But if you go on a date with a dude, like if I take a chick out, right? The chick know I want her, right? So is she just supposed to expect rape because she know I want her?
No, what I'm saying is hoes that go out, it's hoes that scheme on more wealthy people.
You talking about Cardi B?
Cardi B? No, Cardi B? No, hell no.
So,
I love Cardi B.
Because it sounds like you're saying some women use their body to climb ladders.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I support that.
Should.
Yes, I support that 100%. It just don't, you know what comes with that when you do use your body, what kind of dangers you could be putting yourself in.
Bro, what you think?
Well, I don't know the lady's name. That's the head. I forgot her name. That's the head of the Me Too movement. The black lady.
Hell man, go ahead.
It's a black lady?
It is, yeah. I put it actually when I shared the post on, but she started. Yeah,
exactly. The sisters.
Yeah.
What? No, I know it's them, but I thought it was some white shit. No, I still think it's some white shit.
It's not though. That's going to be my next point. Is that she had to refocus and reclaim what the purpose of Me Too was. Because everybody's taking it and they're blowing it apart and they're saying that the Me Too movement is just trying to break down powerful men and powerful corporations, and that's not what it's about. She genuinely started it to help out women who were going through this. Yeah. And so now you got people accusing these big names just because they want to, I don't know what they want.
But that's why you gotta have control of your movement. It's just like Black Lives Matter, right? It started off as a good movement and then it got out of control. And then now it has no leadership and no guidance and it's just lost in the wind. Black Lives Matter it had potential, it could have been great, but it ended up being nothing. It's a nothing movement because you have to have control. And Me Too movement, yes, it was started by a black woman, but she lost control of it.
That is to be expected in the world that we now live in. At the time where people don't value experts, they don't value real journalism and news reporting. They think that if they see it on Facebook, it's true. Photoshop is still happening.
Photoshop is
Photoshop is still happening, but when people decide that I'm the best judge of what's true and false, and I don't need have no use for experts, you gonna always lose control of your movement.
And to your point, how internet is fucking niggas up or whatever, and how a story, you take one story, and then after a couple weeks or something, it's a whole nother. Morgan Freeman never fucked his step granddaughter.
Okay, now you gotta get the whole story.
Right?
So a lot of people don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, that's what a lot of niggas say.
So yeah, like a lot of people, including myself or whatever, because I had heard this too, had believed that Morgan Freeman was already a scumbag because they believed that he married or had a relationship with his step granddaughter who he helped raise soon as she turned 18, which would have been, of course, scumbaggy and inappropriate. But Tank, go ahead and tell us what your research had found.
Research show. All this shit is a quick Google search.
Y'all ain't no Tank be doing research.
Yeah, my nigga. Yeah. Quick little Google search, went down deep into the well, ain't even had to go that deep or whatever. But at first, all this pop up is a whole bunch of tabloid stuff. But even on the tabloid stuff, it says denying all the claims and it's false and false, false. On that. But I went deep and tried to see where it started, and it started from the daughter got killed, and on the stand, the killer said that the daughter was fucking Morgan Freeman. But none of that shit ever was like, oh, they fucking each other.
So it's not a reliable source.
It's not a reliable source. It's not. You can't say that that's fact that Morgan Freeman was fucking.
So if you like,
maybe he was. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but ain't no proof that he did.
So if you like me and you had predetermined feelings about Morgan Freeman being a scumbag, I got to get rid of those, and then now he's just a scumbag because he sexually harassed women.
Well, if you believe that, if you seen the evidence against that, that's bullshit too. We ain't getting rid of Morgan, man. Fuck them young hoes, Morgan. All they doing is hollering at bitches.
Mr. Clark. I believe it or not, I gotta agree with Tank, man. Like, I feel like the Me Too thing, I'm all for it, man. But we can't just start hanging people as soon as the accusation is made. And you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty or whatever. And we have to look into these accusations. As soon as they come across the internet or whatever, it's like, oh, look what he done did. He this, he that, or whatever. The moment that I look into the accusations that was made against Morgan Freeman, I was like, this is the dumbest shit I ever heard. He told one girl at a movie shooting, she was an extra, that she had a nice butt. And that's all he said. And then they was like, yo, that's sexual harassment. Okay. But like, I don't think...
If the Rock would have said it, she
come on, Tank. You're right. You're right. That's right.
That thing up to the hotel for Quaaludes.
There is a very
thin line. Adam, she'll take him.
There is a very thin line. Like, what's the line? I feel like the line is blurred. So what's the line between, hey, you look good, and this sexual harassment? For you, Bria, being a woman, what's that line for you? No, I can't ask you back. You ain't a woman. You ain't a woman.
If you ain't got no dick, tell us about no dick life.
That's right. I ain't got nobody else to go.
But she's the one that's being approached. So what would he cross the line?
Right.
I'm sorry, what?
You're the one that would be approached.
Right.
So what would he cross the line?
How could I ask Matt, how could I ask you, boy, how you feel when somebody tell you you got a nice ass? I can't
don't know the life I'm living, brother. I have to beat them off with a
Bro,
stick.
it was exclusive.
That's it.
What exclusive?
Next time on Bro Listen, Matt got told he had a nice ass for the 57th time today.
We don't know what happened after that. We're just gonna let that ride. Go ahead on, Bria.
Yeah, but Bria, go ahead, man.
I think people are over exaggerating the verbiage. I feel like if you were to touch me inappropriately and I didn't like it, I was like, hey, chill out, you feel me? And you still did it, that is sexual assault, that's sexual harassment. But you tell me that I'm pretty, you trying to holler at me, that's just a normal nigga stuff. I don't really understand why that equates to sexual harassment.
Let me hear something a little bit more explicit. So I can see what's close to the line.
Sexual, now, intern Bud gave me this earlier. Sexual harassment is defined as unwanted, what was it, Bud? Unwanted approach or unwanted, basically like, if the woman feel like it's unwanted, then it's harassment.
It has to be hot.
Oh, that's it. Unwanted sexual advances. That's what it was. Or whatever. The definition for sexual harassment is as follows. Harassment, typically of a woman, in a workplace or other professional or social situations involving the making of unwanted sexual advancements or obscene remarks.
Even with that though, if the woman is feeling, it depends on the woman. Because if the woman is attracted to the man, ain't nothing sexual.
That's what I was about to say.
harassment.
So technically, by definition, sexual harassment is anytime a woman don't like what you said and they felt it was sexual.
Yeah.
That's sexual harassment. That's a very vague and open-ended definition or whatever. That made me feel uncomfortable at work.
Hey, well, I'm all for it because niggas are creepy. And like I said, I got a daughter, so it needs to be wide. It needs to be a wide range explanation because niggas could be slick and leave shit up to interpretation and all of that. If the woman feels like he's doing shit in a sexual way, but she can't prove it, she still needs to be able to say that, hey, what you're doing making me feel uncomfortable.
I think that initial
And if it keeps going, then it's a
that's
problem.
like the first thing, if that's your first interaction and he says something, you feel me? And then you tell him that, hey, that's inappropriate, I don't like that, and then he doesn't stop, then I can say that's harassment.
Even if
But
you
if
just
he just
saying,
approach you like for the first time and he's never approached you before, I think that you just being
even if you just saying like, oh, you beautiful, you're like, okay, thank you. Then the next day, hey, you beautiful. You're like, all right, now you're making me feel uncomfortable.
right. Then
That ain't explicit, but at the same time, she like, hey man, just
She
ease
said,
up.
You're giving people too much credit because these women are accusing the janitor of taking them to the hotel for quaaludes.
that's true.
Right? Bookman ain't got no problems.
But we gotta relate it back to real life. And not out of the
But what I'm saying,
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying,
the people watching
but
this.
this is what I'm saying. In real life, sexual harassment in the professions that I work occurs generally when there's somebody in a position above them, and people, without being told, assume that if I refuse these advances too strongly, my employment may be at risk. They consider it a consequence of where they choose to work.
Like the Harvey Weinstein thing.
So right, like when you at work and you hear somebody tell a racist joke, like
Right.
when you dealing in the grave and
Well, they know better than that with me. I'm gonna look like that nigga. I ain't never heard that shit.
okay,
Well, racist joke.
walk in the grave.
I heard
you're
some.
supposed to be on grave.
Oh, I heard some.
They knew
Yeah.
you were there?
Yeah. You know what's
They wasn't know
funny?
I'm in the presence.
You know
That
what's
was- that
funny?
shit don't
Well,
never
you
do my
a
head.
scary looking ass nigga too.
I don't look
But
scary.
you know what's funny too
Not
is
for
when
me.
you get the white people that get real comfortable, and this has happened to me at Bottoms Up. You get the white people that get real comfortable, and they be like, "Yeah, man, let me tell you this joke," and then they tell you the most racist joke ever. They be like, "Oh, well, see, I can tell jokes like that around you, Anthony." And I'm like, "Why you making me do that?" I mean, what the fuck wrong with
You
you?
that type nigga.
No, I'm not. I say
You ain't refused the advances.
Right.
You done got
Yeah.
got racially harassed.
Yeah.
But see, so you know, they feel comfortable, they do that type of stuff or whatever. So now I want to play devil's advocate real quick or whatever, right? So if like with the Harvey Weinstein thing, like you said, like a boss in a premium position, and I'm not saying I feel like this, I just want to put a devil's advocate thing out there right
You
there.
gotta explain yourself, nigga.
So
How you really
Break them
feel?
home.
if
That's how you
you
feel.
oh my God, no, I don't feel like raising
That
nobody.
was a joke.
Let's see what you got to say there.
Okay, so I'm the boss or whatever, right? And the position is open or whatever, and it's up between Tank and Breeder or whatever. This position pays $160,000 a year or whatever. And I say, man, you know what? It's between y'all two. I have my interview with Tank. Tank do well or whatever. I have my interview with Bria. She do well, but at the end of the interview, I be like, yo, you know, you go out with me 1 or 2 times or whatever. You got this job guaranteed. Whatever happened after that, it don't even matter or whatever. I just want you to go out with me. Is that not an advantage for women in general because they have that? Is that not an advantage? That you can actually
I'm sorry.
wait, because Tank said use your body to get where you need to be, right? I can't do that. And there's a lot of men who can't do that. So is it not an advantage? And I'm telling you, I'm playing devil's advocate. Is it not an advantage to women to be beautiful and get that extra
There's
pump?
also some women who can't do that.
There you go.
Shouldn't be ugly.
But it's
Says the ugly man.
Shouldn't be ugly. Damn right. Damn right. I can't walk around with my shirt off because nobody don't want to see the man.
But let me point out something. It could be an advantage and a disadvantage because they could not get hired because they're too attractive. And you don't want to bring that into the workplace because that's when the fuck everything.
Because some people feel like, oh, she too fine, I won't be able to control my dick.
It could be or it can. Yes.
By the way, I just want to add this in. Intern Bud just got me this information. 23% of African Americans say they have been sexually harassed at work.
Americans or American women? Because if it's women, it's way.
They say 23% of African
That
Americans.
number's
I'm
cool.
gonna say it's 22.9% women and 0.1% men. Because men don't really get
at
sick.
least 33% women.
Yeah, it's higher than that.
It's-
Some
it's-
niggas ain't say nothing.
Yeah,
Some
some of them
niggas
just
say
sick
that.
of it and they don't want to find another hotel to flip.
Every time a nigga saying hey to you, they try to fuck you.
That's what I said. I said that earlier to Bria. I was like, if a nigga see you, it's completely physical. Like for real, if a dude meet a woman and he's never seen that woman before in his life, and he stepped to her, even if he stepped to you and be like, hey, how you doing? I think you're real beautiful. I would love to take you out. That's real respectful. He's still thinking, I wanna knock them drawers off. Cause he don't know nothing about you. He just think you look good. It's all physical attraction.
You're giving me way too much credit when I show up. If I offer you a drink, it's just an application. It's not. We might not even have a position. It's just an application.
But you offering her the drink because you thought she was cute. She ain't even said nothing yet.
You've never partied with me, baby.
Oh man. Oh, wait a minute, baby. You ain't never partied with me. You ain't never partied with on the mat.
More to add to the bro. This is
I was about to say, man, got a lot of stuff going on this episode.
They'll keep drinking and they keep coming out. Hold on, let's keep talking.
Because you know what I find to be attractive?
What's up, Dad? Talk to me.
The look in their eye.
So wait a minute, what?
Bro,
What look though?
If you can't tell that a woman is attracted to you when she look at you, then you losing.
Yeah.
Ain't no.
I am losing. As intern Bud, the last 3 women I thought was attracted to me was like, oh, this creepy ass nigga sent me a Facebook request.
You the one, bro. They said no.
None, but hold on, intern Bud, come over here real quick. Come over here real quick so people can. Intern Bud, have any of these women been white at all?
Don't you name them women.
No, none of the women are white, but statistics do show as of now he is 0 for 3.
0 for 3. I'm batting 0.
Just sending a friend request?
You got to go back to basics, bro.
You got to walk around with your dick out. That's what you gonna have to do. Sexual harassment or not, bro.
Shoot your shot, bro. When this podcast is over, I will show you a friend request of a woman that I said at least 2 months ago. After having a conversation with her, where I said, I'm gonna send you a friend request. Her answer was, all right. I didn't know that meant no.
You still waiting? You're harassing her by leaving it pending.
Now, if you say something sexual, it's harassment.
Fold it back into the show. That's true. Now, if I come at her and I would have said something sexual to her, it would have been harassment. But with some women, she might have thought I was too soft.
Harassment is
harassment
is on it do or not to be fair or not.
What?
Basically saying
harassment is exactly what he said.
If the bitch is interested in you, sorry, bro, I gotta talk. I thought I'm a nigga. If the bitch is interested in you, then it's not harassment. If she's not interested in you, then it's harassment.
That's basically what it comes down to. No, I agree with that. And you know what? I know a lot of people that's watching the show or whatever that look at me or talk to me on a daily basis going to be like real upset that I said that. But I agree with that. Sexual harassment in advance of sexual harassment or whatever the accusation is based on do the woman like you or not. Because if the woman like you, you can say whatever you want. Because I know a dude, me and Bria were just talking about this dude that worked with us at Bottoms Up. He is a scumbag. Not me, you my nigga. But like to women, he is a scumbag and he treat women like scum. And you know what happens? The women that don't like him, they go to HR on him and be like, this harassment. The women that do like him, they give him the draws. Dead ass. And he approached Bria on my line, he approached each woman the same way, right? So, and they know his reputation, right?
Bill Cosby?
No, it ain't Bill Cosby. D-Money. D-Nice. Well, shout out D-Nice.
I don't know what his batting average is.
He batting out.
Every last one of them.
Yeah.
Every last one?
He's sitting on the couch.
You impressed? Hold on, I want to know this. Are you impressed?
Am I impressed?
Because women because this thing with women, they love, don't know women want a nigga that is not desirable to other women.
I would agree with that.
Something about a nigga that got a fine chick, they feel
or you married,
or you married and all of that, yeah, because I be getting pussy thrown to me left and right. I'm like, oh,
but he don't take it, Kendrick.
No.
But he don't take it.
No. Only about 3% of them. Now, breathe.
3% chance would have been a better way.
That's it, 3%.
Oh, we had a 30-minute mark.
Nah, man, keep going.
Okay, now, is it appealing his sexual prowess? Prowess? What's that word?
Prowess.
Prowess. I got it right. His sexual prowess, is that appealing in any way?
Are you saying specifically to me or just in general?
Well, in general. I say in general, because I know you.
Okay.
Like that dirty dick done been everywhere.
That was the exact quote of Bria at some point in her life. She didn't say it to us, but she said it to somebody.
Is that attractive?
Some women, yeah.
Because I think it is.
Some women, yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you got that. They talk shit about them, but they still want to fuck them. We
Yeah.
all off the Me Too out.
Yeah, and see, that's my point. It's all about the fact of, do the woman find you attractive or do they care or not or whatever? Because if they care or if they find you attractive or not, then they ain't gonna call you. They ain't gonna say it's harassment or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the fact. So this whole thing, that's my last question on this before we wrap it up for a conclusion. Where is this going with the whole Me Too movement thing? Like, what's the end result they want to get out of it? Because, like, for example, with Black Lives Matter, that's why Black Lives Matter fell off, because we didn't have a goal. Yeah, we didn't have a goal. So what's the goal of the Me Too movement? Do you think it's like they want to be treated as equal and never get harassed again? Or what's the goal? Matt, what you think? I'm going to go
I
around.
have no idea.
What you think the end game with this is?
In the best case scenario, it would be that people are more observant of how they interact with others, and at the same time, that women feel like they're safe in coming forward when it happens, not 7 years later, even if it's only 7 days later, but they feel like someone's gonna hear their cry and come to their aid.
Say what you think.
And
What's the point of it? The point of it is to stop these creepy niggas from sexually harassing and raping bitches. Y'all out of hand, right? I think that's what it is, and
Also,
I hate the word rape culture. I can't say because it puts everything sexual harassment and everything under the umbrella of rape. So I don't. They need another name for it, but it is a culture that
women oppression, maybe?
Yeah, women oppression. It is a culture that makes it acceptable for men to do little bullshit that's disrespectful to women.
Right.
The shit needs to stop. But no, not that rape culture shit. But yeah. Good.
Real, what you think?
Well, I think just like the lady tried to refocus what the true purpose of it is. I think that, I don't want to say they shouldn't have blown it up, but I feel like they shouldn't have blown it up. I feel like they should have kept it in the community. Like, she was helping a lot of people, and now it's getting to a point where it's just like out of hand. So,
I think it got out of control.
Yeah.
She couldn't, once it got the Twitter hashtag, it was over.
And it was over.
Cause
and
yeah.
I feel like they need to get back to what the purpose is, to make, like Matt said, make women feel safe, make them feel like they can come and say something if it does happen to them. So that's what it needs to get.
Should have made it go fund me.
Got
some money out that shit.
You don't want to get money on shit. You wanted the Starbucks.
That's what this shit is about. Fuck bitches, get money. I'm ready for that topic.
Cool. That's what's up, Tank.
Nice segue.
Segue.
It wasn't no way to segue this shit.
It was, but I might have had one.
Oh, go ahead on then.
The show Killmonger.
Go ahead
You
on.
coming for the throne every damn week.
Hey, this the king. This the king. Go ahead on.
As you can see, Tank, I am not dead.
All that challenge shit over with, bro.
Tank host.
All that challenge shit over with, bro.
I can see Anna right now going to the Bud and be like, they killed my daddy. And Bud like, did they kill him in ritual combat? It's like, what? That shit don't matter. My daddy dead, Bud. What's she talking about? Well, Tank done fucked up the segue, so that don't matter.
All right, Lord.
You know what I'm talking about. It's too much ball. That being said, though, man, the next topic we want to talk about is President Trump, 45, the greatest president of all time.
My nigga.
Yeah. President Trump had a meeting. I'm just saying, man, he doing so much. But that's sarcasm, y'all.
What?
That being said, he had a meeting this week with Kim Kardashian, and the meeting was about prison reform. And we're already laughing.
This is serious.
My question is, why? Why Kim K is the person that's meeting with Donald Trump for prison reform? Why not Meek Mills or one of the people? But wait, or one of the people, because he was a victim of it or whatever. Or he was a victim of
Stefan Diggs, brother? Because he was a victim?
Stefan Diggs? No, I'm talking about prison reform.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Keep going. Yeah. Or not one of the guys. Remember Oprah did the 11 dudes in Chicago, Illinois, who was on death row, and they were wrongfully accused or whatever, and they got off and they had to do hard time, or just anybody that had something to do with being mistreated by the prison system. What Kim Kardashian got to do? Who do Kim Kardashian even know within her life, like personally, that's been affected by prison?
You are ill-informed.
I support Kim since I think I know. Oh, you know about this man?
Have you heard about her little,
Go ahead, hit me with it then.
her little campaign? She's advocating, I ain't listen to the name because I was driving,
Yeah, go ahead.
for a young lady to receive a pardon from President Trump. Because when Sylvester Stallone pushed the president to pardon Jack Johnson, African American, posthumously, he actually went through with it. So Kim K, realizing that the president is susceptible to celebrity power, is pushing for this young lady's case. Intern Bud, find that woman's name.
All right, I just want to say that niggas hate Trump for some reason.
He trash and he
Not
racist.
sure why.
Because he trash and he racist. Period. That's it. We don't even need to investigate.
I don't know why
he trash and he
niggas
racist.
hate Trump. So
He
much.
trash and he racist.
I mean, I'm racist myself, so I say fuck him because he's crack anyway. But that's just me. But if we all have to live under this presidency, and they can't say that he's our president, whether you like it or not, nigga.
Hashtag not my president.
He's your president, all right? So we have. It would be silly not to try to work with him if you have the opportunity to, if it's going to do something for black people. Because
say it again, Bree.
You said that about Obama?
No. See, this is what I said about Obama. I love Obama as a president, but he's not a black civil rights actor. But if you have a chance to talk to Obama, you think I ain't gonna talk to Obama? You goddamn right.
I'm not saying don't talk to Trump or whatever. And Matt, the lady name is Marie Johnson. Is the lady name she's trying to get part from him.
Kim K doing the Lord's work.
What? Okay, here's what my thing about this bullshit. Because to me, it's bullshit. Because how in the hell is it like a situation where she is advocating for prison reform, or like as a whole for African Americans, who are the people who's affected by the prison system being skewed towards incarcerating African Americans, when she's trying to get a pardon for one woman? Getting a pardon for one woman is not going to change the freaking prison system. It's just going to get a pardon for that woman. We need to reform the entire system.
This is like white women back in the day when they got them their little special child and they would just coddle them. It's like the same thing. Kim Kardashian don't know anything about that. Just because she sleep with a black man, she feel like she knows the
Come on. I agree with that.
I do. Y'all both get out because y'all missing the big picture.
That's fine.
The big picture,
No.
the big picture is our president seems to be functionally illiterate, not impressed by facts or statistics. So to send over to Dr. Cornel West will be a waste of his time. To send
that are incarcerated prison systems. Overall, is 1.4% of all adult males are incarcerated in America. 1.8% are Hispanic, 0.7% are white, and 4.7% of black adult males are incarcerated. That's very disproportionate.
That sounds about right, and I do want to say that I think that niggas get stuck on the headline or whatever, because from the beginning, Kim Kardashian herself has been saying what she's going to the White House for. But when the news puts out this thing about, we gotta be able to decipher the real shit from the bullshit. She never said she was going there for prison reform. That's either Trump or whoever the fuck put that out there. So now they're like, why she going to speak for us? Why she going? She's just doing something that's going to help. If it's going to help that black lady get out of prison, that was her purpose.
Okay,
I don't need her talking about prison
reform.
reform.
When she done with that, by the way, she gonna go to the next one.
In the next one,
it don't matter. It don't matter.
She's trying to rescue one raccoon.
I'm not
She's
mad
not
at
trying to
her.
save them all.
I'm not mad at her, but I'm saying, why is she the representative?
She not. Because Trump likes celebrities.
She's the representative because y'all saw the headline and didn't realize that Kim Kardashian is as bright as you thought, and she's advocating for one person. She's using her celebrity status, like she should use her body, right, to gain an advantage for this one individual. She has found a single call, Sylvester Stallone for Jack Johnson. Nobody asking him to call. Nobody.
I mean, can the bitch win or not? I mean, what y'all want to
Kim Kardashian a leader?
President Trump.
So,
I think we're consciously making her the leader when we say she's going there for prison reform and we buy into it.
Okay, the president himself.
She never said that. She ain't asking for all that.
Okay, here's my thing though. Here's my thing. The president himself released from the White House. He released the statement saying, "Me and Kim, a picture with her and Kim Kardashian. Great day today talking to Kim Kardashian about prison reform." That's what he tweeted.
Your
out.
president not a liar.
Or what?
On Twitter.
No, I'm just saying.
Is your president a liar on Twitter?
I feel
Does he embellish on Twitter?
Okay.
I realized who in the office.
Yeah, you playing
Okay,
games
but
with yourself.
wait, y'all. Wait, because y'all saying who made her the person. That's what he said. Kim Kardashian also tweeted, "Really great talk today with President Trump about prison reform." She tweeted that. So,
in what context? Do you think that they can
That's
have
a straightforward
do you think that they can have an intelligent conversation about prison reform? Do you think either one of them is informed enough about the issue to have a legit conversation about prison reform?
I don't think.
Do you?
I don't think. I don't think.
As the voice of people who want more reform?
I'm sorry?
As the voice of people who want more reform,
Do I think they
do you
can have
think that the two of them are informed and educated enough to have a conversation and true discourse on prison reform?
They can have a conversation about it. It's not even up for me.
Is it going? No. I'm asking, can they have an informed conversation? You have that much faith that they know enough about the issue to have a true conversation to get the solution?
I agree. No.
So now you're mad that they said they did. He's a liar.
What you saying is being petty.
She's
Y'all
a
two niggas being petty.
No. What I'm saying,
he's a liar and she's a PR now. And they got together.
Right.
They sat there and said, "You know what to be sweet."
but that's what I'm saying. Why are we as black people, or everybody as a whole, publicly not demanding that he has a real conversation about it? I watched Don Lemon and Van Jones was on the show, and Van Jones was like, "Oh, let's give her credit. At least she trying." Van Jones,
Yes.
I love Van Jones,
Yes, at least she
and I
does
like
something.
Van Jones and his opinions. He shouldn't have said that. He should have demanded. Here's why. He should have demanded that a real representative on the issue go to the White House.
Oh no, you want a real representative to go and talk to Trump about the prison reform.
Dude, if he gonna play talk about it, he need to play talk about it with somebody for real.
What y'all say when Steve Harvey went? What y'all say when Kanye
Everybody
went?
First of all, Steve Harvey.
Why would a
Wait,
legitimate voice go to
Steve
Trump Tower?
Harvey and Kanye West did not go to the White House. They went to Trump Tower to talk to Trump about personal stuff. They never.
No.
Bro, we just said this.
No, you saying that, but that's not what Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey said that I don't know. See, I know that that's something.
Nobody went. Wait, before you say anything. Before Steve Harvey and Kanye met with Trump, nobody knew they was meeting with Trump until they came out of the building. So that shit don't count.
Are you talking about the Russians?
Kim K, no, nigga. Kim K said going into this, before she went there, I'm going to talk about prison reform.
That's
the
not
White
all
House
she said.
she coming to talk about prison reform.
That's not all she said though. She also said that she's going to talk to about this case. So you're just focusing on that prison reform. I'm not expecting nothing from Kim K.
She still said it.
She still said it. That's what I said. She was only talking about.
I'm trying to get what y'all really mad at. Y'all want somebody real to go and talk to Trump about prison?
So what we
just
just
going to get?
See, this is my thing about this regime. Wait. This is my thing about the Trump regime. Okay. First of all, the shit is horrible. Okay, so it's only two ways to fix it. Either A, we complain about it and demand reform from this motherfucker, or B, we allow it to happen. If you just say Kim K can just go in there and bullshit around and we don't demand a real representative to get real results, then it's just gonna continue to be the same bullshit.
What about I bet the lady that she's saving, and if she does it part, I bet she's gonna appreciate Kim going there.
I bet you will. I bet her family will.
I bet
that'll
a
give
lot
hope
of
to a
people.
lot of people.
So for her to not go because it's gonna
I
happen.
didn't say she not go.
So what about
I said with a real representative.
Do y'all see what has happened though as a result of Sylvester Stallone being able to get Jack Johnson off and Kim Kardashian advocating for this one young lady? What has now become a trend, and you may find this on your Googles, is individuals who feel like they've been wrongly accused or over sentenced are looking to push social media campaigns to get the attention of our president. They're saying if the situation is such that our president doesn't want to see DNA evidence, he wants to see me on Ellen Skyping about what happened to me. That's the only way he's going to get this information. Then you a fool to keep sending him books with reports. You better get on Facebook because that's what he is.
See, I agree.
Celebrity in chief. He's
Oh,
a
wait,
celebrity.
wait.
You gotta say
Do
celebrity.
you think? Okay. The position of president of the United States is a very complicated and hard job to do.
Hell,
You have to be very intellectual to be able to do all the ins and outs and nuances that come along with it.
hell no.
Wait.
Just because it's a fact.
Wait. Just because we all think Trump is retarded,
No.
don't mean that somebody ain't running it. Somebody gotta be doing it.
That's exactly what it means.
So if there's a handler, because if Trump's so stupid that he can't run the country would be falling apart. Somebody still gotta sign them bills. Somebody still got to put into place legislation. Somebody still got to push stuff with the whips through Congress. Somebody still got to do stuff and labor and all kinds of stuff like that. All that stuff still exists. So if Trump's so stupid he ain't doing it, then who doing it? So literally, there's somebody in the White House. If Trump too stupid, there's somebody doing it. So it don't matter when whoever Kim K or whoever come in there to talk about it. If Trump's so stupid he don't understand pardons, and that person get a pardon like Jack Johnson, somebody told Trump how to do it. Why are we not letting that conversation get started?
Why are we not mad that Obama didn't pardon Jack Johnson?
I don't even, first of all,
You cannot say anything blasphemous. This ain't nothing blasphemous about Obama. Don't criticize Obama.
I don't even know.
Don't criticize
I don't even know if Obama was aware of the Jack Johnson thing or whatever.
It ain't an HBO movie.
True, but I don't know if Obama. Everybody ain't seen the movie. I ain't seen it. So that's my thing. Everybody
now Trump has to be well aware of everything that's happening.
I want him to be aware. I'm saying he's clearly aware of the prison situation because he mentioned it during the campaign, he mentioned it during the debates, and he mentioned it to Kim Kardashian. So he's aware. So the whole he not aware thing is bullshit. So talk to somebody who knows something so we can get something done. Do we want prison reform for African Americans or not?
Yes. I mean, we had Obama for 8 years. 8 years. All right, now we're expecting Trump to talk to somebody who got credibility and reform prisons
about something that don't affect.
We had Obama for 8. We had a Democratic Congress for 8 years.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. That's we had a Democratic Congress for 2 years.
2 years. That's why I was saying. We had a whole Democratic Congress for 2 goddamn years.
And they got healthcare reform.
And they got healthcare, something that no nigga was asking for. And if you say they doing, you lying. Because nobody asking for that shit. That's some corporate shit that he pushed through. When nobody asking for healthcare, according to what
Separate question. Criminal justice. Of the last 4 presidents, which president has pardoned the most individuals in his first 2 years of office?
He did. Obama did in the last.
Donald Trump. I knew that, but that's
no. Because what I'm saying is, what people have realized is previous presidents, they were waiting on the experts to come. They were waiting for evidence to come through. They were trying to make sound judgments. And you know what that resulted in? Your Bush, your Obama, and your Clinton.
Has pardoned more people first 2 years than any president.
I didn't know that.
Or whatever. To me, that's not.
Because Jack Johnson's a nigga.
I'm just talking shit.
But see, here's the thing. The pardons don't mean shit for reform. He ain't gonna pardon every nigga that's been wronged in the system. We have to fix the system. The system is broken. Letting one nigga or 2 niggas out, or letting Jack Johnson, who passed away, Jack Johnson pardon is cool. Jack Johnson's long gone.
That is a reform, though. He has reformed the system from being about paperwork and filing appeals and writing letters and writs to courts and all of this to, you know what? If you can get me 1,000 retweets, you out of here.
But that's not
how we expect more out of Trump than Obama.
But I like Obama. It's not even that. We expect so much out of Donald Trump, and then in the second breath say he's not even fit to be president. But you want him to be presidential.
I expect Donald Trump to be the president of the United States of America. That's what I expect him to do. I don't expect him to be better than Obama or whatever. If he proved me wrong and he better than Obama, that's damn good. But I'm not. My expectations of him is to do his damn job. Just like last week when you said the NFL players, their expectations is to go in there and stand the fuck up because that's what the fucking law of the land is. Because the NFL say the rule is stand up. The rule is do your damn job. Period, point blank. If he can't do the job, he need to be impeached and get out. And that's number one.
Technically, he's doing the job.
That's all.
If you feel that strongly about him getting in the White House, then shame on you for not getting Tank to vote. Because when you had a system that was in place, when you had a system that was in place, and you felt this passionately about it, that's one vote that you weren't able to garner in your house. Now that the election has turned out a certain way, we've realized that what we expected is what we have. It's too late to cry over the spilt milk. Let's get some towels, clean it up, and understand that if he's gonna listen to Kanye West, if he's gonna listen to Ellen, and that's gonna be the way we have to maneuver, then you can't try to make him an intellectual.
But don't call a nigga a coon when he go and talk to him. That's why Meek Mill ain't go, because Meek Mill ain't the opportunity.
It's Robert.
But now this the thing. You always
the two.
Nah. See the thing. You always can say you always can say pre this how they dumb and how that, but you can't predict the future and all that shit. Ain't no telling Meek Mill go there and then he come out looking the same stupid and then everybody be like, I told you so, now you cool. We can't predict the future.
Meek Mill shouldn't have listened to Jay-Z when Jay-Z said don't go meet with the president. I agree with what you said earlier. I agree with what Tank said earlier. If the president y'all saying it right now, if the president gonna give you a platform, go to the platform.
No, go to him and argue that the platform he wants isn't the one that you expect him to
have. But at least go, right?
No, you're saying don't go because the platform that he's presenting.
I ain't telling nobody don't go.
If the platform is Kim Kardashian, Kim don't go. Go and try.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Kim can go. But I'm saying, if we want to talk about prison reform, we need to have someone there who knows what they're talking about.
Your president don't know.
So who gonna be there? That's my point. We need to demand of Trump to have people that's so basically, let's let him fuck us then. Because if you don't demand something of him, he will give you nothing. Right or wrong?
Hey man, I didn't vote because I wanted turmoil. Goddammit. So but it still ain't bad enough because Trump ain't as bad as a president as niggas.
And you're still not excused for not voting.
On social issues, he's a whole.
It won't get bad enough. Let's not get this twisted. It won't get bad enough because of the way the American government is set up. It doesn't need a president to stay around. Yeah, they thought about that ahead of time. If the king died back in the day, then the government failed because the king was the state or whatever. That's what Louis XVIII said. I am the state. That was his thing. Like I'm all absolute. You don't need that. The president can die. They can kill 4 presidents in a row. We still have same government.
No, we won't.
Why not?
For the very same reason that you're complaining that the government we have now isn't abiding by the norms of previous presidents. Because the position is important and does require.
No, I think it's important, but I'm saying Tank was saying.
Be ready.
Tank was saying it's chaos or whatever.
On my side.
Tank was saying that he wanted chaos, and I was saying you can't get chaos by electing a bad president because the government is set up where one position or branch of the government being defaulty can't break down the whole thing.
Yeah, it can. I meant that I'd rather not get pimped. I'd rather have chaos than get pimped. I'd rather have the worst happen than get pimped again by the Democratic Party over and over and over. Because niggas is automatically, if you automatically gonna vote for something good or bad or good, then your issues is going to be overlooked. Yeah, you're going to get pandered to. You're going to get this, you're going to get that. But in the end, it's going to be the same outcome. You're getting fucked. And just because the other side is worse don't mean you're going to keep fucking me in my
But they go back to what Matt said. You're
using lose, and the other one is going in around. Fuck it, I get fucked wrong.
You're choosing not to participate in your future.
No. This is a good thing.
We're done with rape culture.
This thing right there. We only have a president for 4 or 8 years. So I'm not going to act like it's going to be the end of the world if I have to throw away this election in order for some integrity. It has to be done.
When are you going to get a presidential candidate that fits into your standards? It's never going to
happen. No, you don't have to fit into every standard, but it's just about a point of integrity. And
right, so how many standards? Because all 3 of us on this panel know your ass. How many standards do a nigga got to fit into to get you to vote for him?
I will vote for Obama.
Okay, so you voted for Obama. So what standard did Hillary have that Obama had that made you vote for Obama?
That's a whole nother. That's on the show that we don't have time to get to.
But no, that's my point. Like I feel like what Tank saying.
I can tell you now. You ain't stopping me, but it's just it's too in depth to get.
But no, yeah, I feel what you're saying. But what Tank was saying, and we need to have a show about that. We need to have a show about is the Democratic Party the party for black people? Or should black people be liberals? Because Tank do have a point about you should not vote based on party lines, but neither should Republicans. Nobody should vote based on whatever party you register to. You should vote based on the best candidate. But that being said, or whatever, you should just vote. Period. You should vote, bro.
No, that's the opposite of what you just said.
Not voting is voting in But just because if you don't, if just because you vote for them, you know that now you voting for the Green Party, you know they're gonna lose. All right, but if you have a purpose of voting for them just to get them to whatever, then okay. So I mean that's like a no vote for Hillary.
It's not the same thing because the vote for any candidate is to say that I support that. To not vote is to say I have no concern for what.
No, what if you don't support any of it?
Listen,
so what do you do?
Listen, if you go in there and you vote for Mickey Mouse because they do have links.
No, that's
for those who don't vote. You
writing in some arbitrary.
No. What I'm saying is, don't tell me that going and saying I stand for something is the same as I'm gonna sit down and wait for it to happen.
I agree with that. And what you're saying don't make sense because you're saying that if you write in a candidate, that person's not going to win, so that's a waste of your vote.
It is.
But it's also a two-party system, so if you don't vote, it's a waste of your time and your...
Exactly, so don't vote.
It's going to be one of the other.
No. Just because I'm saying... I'm not saying
I'll choose your life, brother.
I'm not saying don't never vote.
That's true.
Don't ever vote.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't ever vote. What I'm saying is if this election, where both of the candidates is fucked up, instead of just voting for one of them because it's the lesser of the evil or whatever, in protest, that it is a protest because you're withdrawing from your right, don't vote for either one of them.
And the white people
I'm gonna choose your life for you.
Right. You let white people.
We gonna cut your head.
No, you know why? Because
you in the wrong.
You know why? Because it doesn't matter either way. Getting fucked.
Don't worry, I'm gonna vote for your life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
fucked either way.
I'm gonna take. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you gonna say you like it.
See, but that's my thing about the prison reform thing. Okay, the result is Trump the victor. He won. Whether we like it or not, technicalities, whatever, he won. He the president. At what means do we just, that goes the same thing. Do we just stand around and be like, well, it is what it is, he do this? Yeah. Or do we say, you need to do this, just like we do of every other president? When Obama was in office, the Republicans forced him to put a whole bunch of shit that they wanted at the table. Just like you was talking about healthcare. Obama proposed universal healthcare. The Republicans was like, hell no. And he fucking, they said, you better give us a seat at the table. He did, and this is what we got out of the negotiations, which is our current healthcare system. So what are we going to do? We just going to let Trump and the Republican Congress make the laws and not say nothing?
It wasn't, but it was the Congress that made Obama do that, not the people. Alright, niggas is only how much percentage?
Well, wait, the Congress did that because the Tea Party is so strong.
Tea Party is strong,
right? But the Tea Party is who? The people.
No, it's not. That's a grassroots. They're a large number. They're a small percent.
They have lobbyists too.
We got lobbyists.
Here's what you do: if you want your numbers to make some sense, go see the state attorney. Go take them to somebody who understands what a bar graph is. That's what you do. But if you keep dropping them off on the president's desk and think that he's gonna read them and reach any conclusion that's favorable to you, you're hitting your head against the wall, and I can't support that.
I agree with that because you know what Tank just said a minute ago it's a roundabout circle because Tank just said he don't think niggas got lobbyists. We have a whole thing called the African American Caucus.
Who is they representing?
Black people.
Not the Jews.
Yeah, they're called the African American Caucus.
Are they asking for president?
They lobby. Yes, they've been doing it for years, but they.
And then this is my point about that. Ain't nobody putting no money towards that. You need money in order to lie.
You mean you not?
Yeah, exactly. They got plenty of money,
bro. You didn't know they existed.
Right.
No. I know what you're talking about.
Right, African American. Just for example, or whatever, just to show that niggas realize how powerful the African American Caucus is. In a fictional show. With what's the Frank Underwood? What's the show called? I forgot. It's slipping my mind. House of Cards. Thank you, intern Bud. In House of Cards, there's a whole 3-episode arc where the president can't get what he wants done because the African American Caucus refused to vote for him, and that's happened a whole bunch of times in real life, and it damn sure happened on TV. What African American Caucus is top 5 most powerful caucuses
the whole time
in Congress.
Obama was in office. Because my thing keep coming back to Obama because I don't like how it gets. This is what niggas' minds go. When it's a white face on it, then they know it's antagonist and protagonist. Niggas always need the bad guy and the good guy. and they don't realize who the bad guy is all the time or who the good guy is all the time. So now we got Trump in office when we had this whole 8 years where we could have got shit done, but ain't nobody going to vote during the middle election. Ain't nobody going to do this. Everybody loves
that point about going to your state attorney.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Now Trump is in office, and everybody had like all of these problems just popped up. All of this shit that's going on now was 8 years when we had Obama. Ain't no new problems. All of this shit been going on. So Trump, Rick Ross and Plies and all them niggas went to see Obama about black issues. Ain't have shit to do with niggas. Niggas ain't say shit about that. I did. I was like, why is all these rappers and shit going to speak for
I agree.
They be rocking the vote.
Yeah. Why I did?
That's what
I'm saying. This shit ain't nothing new. But now we got incapable president that you're saying send capable people to. It's not gonna work. We just gotta wait these 4 years. It is what it is. Got them vote the motherfucker out. That's what we could do.
That ain't gonna happen. He gonna get another.
I'm defeated. I want it different, but I'm defeated.
I'm a vote. No. I'm a vote, and I think everybody should vote.
That is unfair because that's the same thing that leads to people saying I might as well stay home because my vote don't matter because he's gonna win anyway.
I think your vote does matter, and I think you should go vote.
I voted in protest, not because my vote didn't matter.
Well,
it gotta be a reason.
Your protest has to be more sound than just the protest because kneeling on its own is nothing. If you're not putting money into areas, systems, and efforts.
Voting for the Green Party. It's just like voting for everybody. It's like voting for them ain't gonna do nothing. You know they're gonna lose, but you still do it. Even though I protest, what?
You vote for the Green Party?
Garbage. And y'all voted for Hillary, and she fucked over Bernie Sanders. I just want y'all to point that out.
How did the Tea Party come to power? Because the majority of white people aren't Tea Party supporters.
They're not. What we talking about here?
We're talking about a small difference can lead to big change.
Yeah, that's true. I also want to say, I would say this too, Kim K or anybody or whatever, I feel like we are a far distance from prison reform. And I do feel like it is a huge issue, the fact that 80%, but look that number up for me, the amount of people that's incarcerated in America that are African American. I think it's around 70 or 80% of African Americans are the prison system, make up the prison system. Yeah. That is a huge issue, and it affects our communities. I think we're very far off from a solution. I would like a solution. I would like a true talk. If Kim K can get it sparked, I would retract all my statements and let's do it or whatever. But we got to get a spark going on it or something. It's like you said, yeah, Trump in office, we can't expect him to do everything, but how much longer are we going to wait before we start asking for stuff? You're right, we should have asked with Obama. We didn't. Now this is the president. We can't do nothing about the past. Trump the president now. We need prison reform. That is a big issue. I feel like that's one of the top 5 issues affecting African Americans.
Niggas don't care. I don't know that nigga being rained about this prison shit. Now it's trendy.
It's a lot cheaper to get Facebook likes than it is a good lawyer.
I was just about to say, you ain't been listening to what Matt say? Trendy is how you get shit done.
I know, man. I don't know.
So there's your reform. It's a lot cheaper to get your family, get your likes up.
Trendy is not sustainable. It happens and it goes.
But if it's trendy,
I hate y'all niggas. You know what?
I know you do. I know you do.
Eat this truth, young boy. I'm gonna go to the corner store. I'm gonna just slap shit out of niggas. For no reason.
Nah, when I get your likes up, don't you ruin this. Okay? You said what you're supposed to do to the parole board and come on home, Tank.
And remember, if it's trendy and it causes a change, I'll give you an example.
I'm with you on that.
I'm gonna give you an example because if the gun control thing, right? The trendy thing right now is gun control. If the law passes while this trend is going, that's the fucking law. It don't matter if the trend died down in the end. Now you done changed the law. So if the trend is the metoo movement or prison reform or whatever, when the trend changes, that's what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What the intern got over there?
But intern Bud got me those numbers or whatever.
Bud, did you shine your head?
No, that's all clip.
Oh, you clip what? That thing shining spot.
Yeah, you know that. Ain't got no buff.
I put the buff on that.
For everybody wondering if intern Bird is 65, he is. So the numbers of the U.S. population is white people make up 64%, Hispanics make up 16%, black people make up 13%. We gotta start having more babies, black people. And then
Not the ones who can't afford it.
and then the percentage of the U.S. incarcerated population. Now y'all remember, white 64, 16 for Hispanics, and 13 are black. Here go your incarcerated population. 39% are white, 19% are Hispanic, 40% are black. So we make up.
Is it trending up or down? Is it trending down? Is it
It's trending down, but overall incarceration overall is trending down.
So we're making progress.
We're making progress. Slow. Not fast.
Very, very slow.
What percent of the population are we?
13.
And we expect to make super fast progress.
We can.
Yeah, because you know what? Possible. Here's the thing. I don't expect super fast progress because the numbers ain't gonna change because those people have already been sentenced.
Because they wait.
But when you look at it as a whole, to be 40% of the incarcerated population and only be 13% of the population, that's like having a bucket full of balls and it's 100 blue balls and one red one, but you keep pulling the red ball out. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. So clearly we're being targeted and it's disproportionate. So it got to be something done about it. Like we just can't just keep on keeping on because that might be also why we're 13%.
How are we trending down if everybody's just sitting around watching it happen?
It's trending down overall, though.
I mean, that's what I'm asking. Are people out there doing things to make progress?
No.
Before
society,
incarceration.
Society.
So my
they put niggas in jail for everything at night.
So why aren't pedophiles trending down?
What?
They trending up. Why are sexual harassers trending up?
Wait a minute. Last week you talking about a little boy dick. Now this week you talking about pedophile.
Because you know what? When I go extreme,
what?
That's what your internet culture decides.
And it gets trendy. You're right.
But wait, how do we know that pedophilia is trending down? Like, how do we know that?
I don't. I'm not involved at all.
Okay. How do we know that? How do we know that?
Intern Bub, what you know? Nothing. You don't need to know. We're going to know what's going on.
Don't Google on your phone.
Ass on the field, play ball.
But we're saying that sexual harassment is trending
little boy dick.
because it's being brought to the light. Bringing light to something does make a difference. It's going to send it up or down, but people have to know what's happening first. Rodney King, appreciate you taking that whooping for the team.
Yeah, Rodney King did take the whooping for the team.
OJ.
Fucked off all the money.
OJ, don't do that no more.
But you know what Stephon did? Stephon Clark, your favorite friend, his brother, when they crashed that city council meeting, you know what? He was not the appropriate representative.
Right.
But he was not a representative. But you know what he did do? He did get the show on
right. TV. I agree with that.
If
that was a very powerful moment.
If people gonna only buy into what's on these little tiny screens, then put it on the screen.
We doomed. Skynet is coming.
It's okay, I'm going back to Africa.
Next new nation of black, son.
Tell them boy, they keep kicking them crackers out of Africa and taking their land, boy. We got to move to South Africa. That's the move there. Huh?
We gonna show how it's done.
Showing how it's done.
Oh yeah.
Sunny skies, no hurricanes,
no
earthquakes.
Maybe that's it. Maybe we should get with the Native Americans. And then we take back the land for them. And then they let us live.
We don't need 0.02%.
Fuck them Native Americans.
Whoa!
Why?
You wanna know why?
I wanna know why. Let me tell you why.
Make it quick too, we gotta wrap it up.
All of these niggas talking about they got some Indians. Oh, they Pocahontas.
You know what? I agree with you.
Oh, look at that. We got how many? 8 niggas in the room. 6 of them gonna say they got some Indians.
I agree with that.
Look here.
Shut up, B.
Indians ain't and I'm gonna call them Indians. I'm gonna disrespect. I'm just playing Native American.
And I'm half Puerto Rican.
Shut up.
And I'm half
Natives is real. Natives didn't fuck with Africans like that. They had slaves.
No, wait, real. How do I know that? Oh, you're actually right. If you research into it, Native Americans hate. You can say your point. Native Americans helped round slaves up.
Like Africans and Africans.
They were not our friends.
Also, Native in the French American War, the Native Americans helped the French because they wanted to fight America, and then when with the French colonies, they helped round up slaves, and some of their payments was slaves. They also, it is against like Cherokee and Navajo thing to mix with Africans because they're not supposed to.
They traded everything they had for bees and blankets, brother.
That's true.
Like,
but they believe in racial purity.
Oh, so do black people. We had a whole show on.
And like white people, you had the girls marrying the white man. It's the same thing. You
Over a majority.
I thought we was all about fall in love with you fall in
See,
love.
majority is
I ain't out there. I'm just saying they don't like
You can't
us.
say that they never been.
Nothing is an absolute.
Right, of course,
But
exactly.
you speaking generality and not
Right.
absolute.
When you generalize it and pull up the percentages, it is very rare in the 19th and 18th century to see African Americans. Right, true.
It's not them history books. Come to the present.
Just, I'm gonna tell you, all y'all niggas think y'all is
2% interracial dating. Shut up. It's not the thing you think. Let's leave that. It's what
When everybody do their ancestry shit, nobody coming up with Native Americans. All the shit that I seen was black
African Americans.
never
do the
seen
DNA test.
a lie.
I did mine. No, real talk. Wait, just for an example, and we just talking about this because it's interesting. We got to wrap it up. But just for an example, I did my DNA test. Me and Tank got the same bloodlines, right? We got the same. Wait, we got the same grandma, same granddaddy. Our granddaddy had slick back hair and all that stuff.
Swear he was half.
And he swore he was half Indian. And if you ask my grandma, who just passed away, and my real biological grandma who passed away, both of them said our great grandma was a Cherokee Indian, right? I did our DNA test, 0% Native American, and I was
so Ancestry.com got your great grandma
lying. The whole
She a whole lie. She don't know who is who.
DNA don't lie, my brother. Like DNA is DNA. Okay. You can tell Native American DNA.
That's why we need prison reform.
You're about to lose your argument, boy.
So DNA don't lie?
You're about to lose your argument, boy.
So if DNA lie, so
I don't trust
yeah, I'm about to say bring prison
That's
reform
all
back.
we need.
So if DNA lie.
No, I don't trust them crackers at Ancestry.com. I don't know them motherfuckers.
They selling your
That's
data.
what I'm saying. You don't
Just
know
know
that.
that when you order
So-
a
Same
test
crap.
kit,
Wait
Who
a
controls
minute.
it?
Wait a
Who
minute.
controls
who
it?
running the
Is this a
lab?
government? Is it regulated? No, it's a corporate
This
business.
is
I just want y'all to know, Ancestry.com, when the time is right, will have a sample of your DNA. And when they need a clone for you, my brother, they will have it.
That being said, Ancestry.com, if you want to sponsor the podcast.
Not me,
No.
my friend. I don't need a clone. I'm fine alone.
First of all, like I said, this is real listen, not conspiracy listen. That's a whole different
That's not
podcast where the
conspiracy.
bonds
It
are
started.
started.
I don't trust them.
Come on, hope.
Who taking my blood? What they doing with it?
Why
Huh?
Did they
Number
send it
one.
They
back?
don't know what they
Did
do.
they send it
That's the
back?
scary part.
There's a little Cedric Pinkman running around in Tasmania.
Number one is
You
not
always
your
put on
blood.
papers.
Number
Yeah,
one,
they can afford.
number one is not your blood. It's a mouth swab. Number two,
It's DNA. It's
Number
DNA.
two.
That's what I'm saying.
Number two.
Number two.
I did it while I was in college. It was not conducted by Ancestry.com.
At a white college.
It was conducted by the University of Florida.
Sucker.
Oh, you done switched it up.
I never said it was. I said that all the time. They gave it to free for students.
I accept that.
Everybody out in Brooklyn,
You done did it for a
you know
free
how when you're in
t-shirt.
college,
And
you
you
go to
trust the
college,
results.
and the science department do experiments, and they like, if you want to make an extra $150, come do this
Your
experiment.
brother, this nigga that been no college.
Cole went to college. I
Cole
went
went
to
to
college.
college.
Matt went to college. Bria went to college. Niggas go to college.
Damn, but
And you know what, brother?
We out here.
We gonna end it right now because I ain't gonna let Tank insult you. I know all y'all college bad. Achieve, believe, and be somebody.
Hey, I graduated from college, thing.
you what? You graduated?
Yeah.
You ain't graduated from no goddamn college.
Get off
Damn lie.
Get off the
You got better things to lie about.
Believe, achieve, and be somebody. That being said, man, we had a great show today. Brothers Podcast number 12, Hater Bear Media Group. If you want to, if you live in the Jacksonville area and you want to get your podcast started, holla at me. Hit me up, Hater Bear Media Group at gmail.com, and I can get you going. Also, check out some of the other podcasts on there, Flag on the Play. Check that out. Do your thing. It's a great podcast about sports and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead on and wrap it up. Shout out to everybody that been listening to us and helping us out. We appreciate all the love. And yeah, great show, Brothers Podcast number 12. Matt, let me get your final thought, baby boy.
Wise men will follow the path cleared by great men.
Matt comes strong every week. And then we come to this. Tank?
Hey, look, back to the Me Too thing. Look, y'all niggas stop accidentally raping hoes. Y'all need to know when no, sometimes we don't say no. There's be signs. Y'all need to know all of these goddamn signs. We gotta have a show on that. On the signs.
Matt say when they look in your eyes.
Say no, because y'all accidentally raping these women and they're looking bad on me. But I ain't no rapist. I'm just aggressive.
Oh, God.
That's true.
That's it. Very true. Don't rape women. I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah.
Real final thought?
At the end of the day, with this Me Too thing, we need to take it seriously for those that are actually affected by it. And for all of you women that are out there accusing people and it's not true, shame on you. For the rest of everybody else.
Bitch. Oh, that was just in case you not watching the live feed. That was not Bria deep voice.
That was not me.
Also,
That was not her deep voice. And my final thought is, I'm sorry, Tank, that shit got me real quick, though, real hard. But, that shit was like a burp almost. What was that? My final thought is this: believe, achieve, and be somebody. Ooh, there you go. But we appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Bro Listen Podcast number 12 coming to a close. As we say every week, all power to the people. Peace.
all right, niggas. Hey, that nigga D said, ooh. Believe, achieve, and be somebody. He said, ooh. Yeah, you said that shit.
Because that's what friends are for.
Oh, shit. I gotta start making clips and shit. I keep saying I'm
These niggas ain't shit.
We need clips
Well,
on Facebook.
hotels and
Man.
Niggas-
Nah, we still straight.